Local government partly plays a role in security and partnering with security agencies. But how effective is this at the grassroots? This week, we turn the spotlight on Jos South local government area, exploring communities still struggling to recover from displacement and battling the daily realities of insecurity, lack of electricity, and failing education. Welcome to Scorecard. I'm Bernard Akede. Let's get the grade.
Everywhere across Nigeria, with news coverage driven by the quest for solutions, News Central brings you the stories that matter.
Bringing you major headlines and latest developments from the creeks of the Niger Delta, South Nigeria. I am Austin.
Live from the Federal Capital Territory, I am Joshua Imarai, bringing you exclusive insights and updates straight from Abuja.
Covering the rich cultural heritage and dynamic events of the North, I am Emmanuel Bagudu.
Covering the ongoing developments and triumphs of the Northeast, I am Umaru Kirawa, live from Borno.
Bringing you stories of growth and resilience from the Southeast. I am Chinwe Ukele.
In the intensity of Nigeria's middle belt, I am Chizoba Anyowe, bringing you stories of diversity and latest happenings from Jos.
With a dedicated team of reporters across the nation, News Central is empowering viewers to shape the future of their communities. Because your story is our mission. Stay informed, stay connected with News Central, with fearless reporting on what matters most.
Despite receiving 722.62 million naira in FAC allocations for August 2025, Jos South local government area shows little sign of real development. In Dogo Nahawa, residents still face bad roads, unstable electricity, and struggling schools, raising tough questions about where the money is going and why daily life remains unchanged. Now, to discuss the challenges faced by the residents of Jos South local government area in Plateau State, we have with us two guests. We'll be joined by Captain Luqman Gidado, who's a security expert, currently joining us from Abuja, the federal capital. And also we have Dr. Muhammad Bashir, who's a political analyst, who'll be joining us from Ilorin, the capital of Kwara State. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Now we jump straight into our questions.
Good evening.
To start with, we know that the governor of the state is the chief security officer of every state, as it were, in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. However, most of the insecurity issues that we've been seeing lately seem to happen not in the city centers, but in the local communities, where the people are vulnerable and almost defenseless. Now, what can the local government officials and the local government chairman himself do to secure the people in their localities? I would like to start with you, Captain Gidado.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. The importance of the local government as the closest tier of government to the local communities in ensuring the security of life and property within the local communities cannot be overstated. The local government have a role to play in terms of security coordination, fostering interagency collaboration, all to galvanize the security of lives and properties in the local areas and rural communities. So in line with that, the Jos South local government area of Plateau State is indeed the political nerve of Plateau State, because it houses the major administrative offices in Plateau State. The office of the executive governor also reside within the Jos South local government area of Plateau State. However, if you look at the trajectory of events in Jos South local government, which has its administrative area and administrative office in Bukuru area of the state, most of the activities that have been witnessed shows that the cash inflow does not necessarily translate to security. Yes, we are all aware of the fact that there's a Supreme Court pronouncement as regards local government autonomy. However, we cannot categorically state that whether it was mere a rhetoric or it was actually implemented. If that is done, that means the section 216 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of 1999 as amended must have been amended. We don't know if that has been done to actually allow that federal allocation are paid directly into the local government account. So regarding the events that we've witnessed so far, especially within Jos South, with a particular attention to Dogo Nahawa area of Jos South local government. Dogo Nahawa is a symbol of long-term misplaced priorities. People that reside within that area are still harboring years of mistrust. As a matter of fact, also, the particular area we are talking about, which is Dogo Nahawa, have a conglomeration of both the indigenous people and the settlers who reside together, and that has been a major flashpoint that is usually being exploited in terms of ethno-religious crisis. Let me quickly also cast our mind back to the memory lane. In the year 2010, there was this massacre that the Dogo Nahawa area of Jos South witnessed, whereby a lot of people lost their lives.
Yeah, Captain Gidado, I apologize. I may have to interrupt you a little bit. I would like you to. Okay, I would like you to land on this point you are making, but because of our time, I would like you to quickly address, the question as to what the local government actually can do. I was going to mention that attack in 2010, but what can the local governments actually do to prevent this? We know that all the eyes are on the state government and the governor, but for the local government, what should be their responsibility?
Okay, I'll be missing the point if I just delve into profiling policy recommendation without necessarily giving a background.
Okay,
that's why I'm giving that brief background.
Okay.
Now, for what the local government should do to foster the security of lives and property in Jos South local government area of Plateau State. First and foremost, while giving my background, I made mention of the fact that there is lack of proper community engagement. So what am I saying? There's need for the local government authority to actually engage sincerely and with sincerity of purpose to engage with traditional rulers, to engage with vigilante groups, to engage with the youths. Part of the problems that are currently being faced in the Jos South local government has to do with social amenities, social infrastructures. These are grossly inadequate within this general area, and they are the root causes of the incessant insecurity that Jos South is witnessing. Also, I will equally enjoin the local authorities in Jos South. In Texas, there's this law called Stand Your Ground Law. We have witnessed and read in several news outlets and other media outlets cases whereby people will be sleeping in their houses, and these miscreants will just enter their house and kill them. They will take their lives unjustly. But if the Jos South local government area can equally embrace and take lesson from the Stand Your Ground law that is obtainable in Texas, whereby when you are within your legally confined jurisdiction, you can fight for self-defense. Anybody coming to attack you, you have every right to defend yourself, even if you take the person's life. So these are measures that I will encourage and recommend to the Jos South local government authorities to put in place.
I will still come back to you. I would like to, divert to our next guest, to our second guest, and that's Dr. Bashir. Dr. Bashir, now I want to talk figures and money. 722.62 million naira received in August by the local government in Jos South. Now, our guest earlier, Captain Gidado, has talked about the lack of actual autonomy that the local governments are said to have. But what would you say is stopping the people of Jos South and other local government areas from truly reaping the benefits of these allocations that they ought to have received?
Thank you very much. Before I answer your question, let me first of all ask this question. Why do we believe that the local government authorities are yet to have their autonomy? Because by my understanding of the pronouncement of the Supreme Court last year, the concept of autonomy as pronounced by the Supreme Court has to do with three things. One, financial independence. That is, the federal allocation has to be dropped into the accounts of every local government directly. Two, that there must not be caretaker council in place. It has to be elected council. If other two aspects of this autonomy as pronounced by the Supreme Court have been fulfilled, then there's need for us to come a little bit down on our insistence on the fact that the local government have not received their autonomy.
We'd like to go on a quick break, and when we come back, News Central will take you to Jos South local government area, where the people themselves have spoken about what their concerns are and what they expect of their local government leaders. Do stay with us.
Dogo Nahawa, as this community was formerly called, now renamed Diembrook, sits in the valley of this town. It is majorly surrounded by mountains and hills, which should give it some sort of protection. Sadly, this same quiet and lowly community came to light on March 7, 2010, after it suffered a sad attack that razed many houses and huts. 15 years after, some of the huts and houses have been rebuilt through community efforts over the years, while some others still lie in wait of when or who will rebuild it. That same worrisome attack claimed the lives of over 500 locals in just one night. Yet, the unknown gunmen are yet to be apprehended.
Behind me here is a monument in remembrance of over 500 people that were killed on the 7th day of March 2010 by unknown gunmen here in Dogo Nahawa.
Baba Idi Inusa, a Hausa Muslim from Jigawa State, is over 100 years old. He is seen as the most peaceful Fulani indigene in this community and has lived here all his life. These locals virtually take care of him now, even during the last attack of 2010 here, as though he was a son of the soil. He wishes that his supplication for peace is answered for more development to set in Diembrook. Major roads of Diembrook community were constructed during the former Governor Jonah David Jang administration over 10 years ago. This seems to be the one and only form of development these locals can boast of.
We thank the past government, to Jonah David Jang, for the road, and actually since then up to now we never see anything coming from the government. We are pleading to the government. Our problem here we have a lack of security, light and schools. So we're pleading to the government if they can put our request into consideration. Every time we have an election came, we come out in mass to vote them. After voting them, we are not going to see anybody again coming down to come and greet, unless of to bring something like this.
Aside this, social amenities such as electricity, education and healthcare are far-fetched. In the absence of electricity, development will barely thrive. The question here is, how will these young men and women pull through and have a better life without electricity in this community, in this time and age? How will they not go into vices when they are not gainfully engaged?
We really need the light because all the work we do for the whole day
We really spend it on fuel, and sometimes our solar system will get spoiled, and then we'll spend the same money again on it. It's just like we are not gaining anything, we are not profiting anything from it.
We struggle to iron clothes. We use charcoal instead of electricity, because using charcoal at times the work don't used to be neat as expected or damaged.
This is my shop here. The shop has been locked for more than 2 months now because there's no light to run the shop. Most times the shop is always dark in the afternoon, so I need light to show the customers what is inside, and there's no light. That's why I lock the shop down.
That's why we are talking about our government. They are not doing anything at all for us. Last 4 months, they came here and promised us about electricity, but up to now, we did not see.
Education, they say, is the bedrock of development. If they still hold sway in our present time and age, would it then mean that these children, including their teenage siblings, will not have access to quality education? There is just one primary school and no secondary school in this community under Just South local government area.
I came to this school in 2023 as the headmaster posted to this school. Since I came here, there's no any material given to me to issue to my teachers. No teachers. No teacher. We don't have enough teachers. We need employment. All this will be employed. That's what I want to appeal to the government.
These locals aren't happy they can't further their education in secondary school unless they go to another community. They are more worried that they may first become tools in the hands of those wishing violence and criminality on their land.
Because they don't go to school, that is why they are just at home. They are just getting peanuts for their parents' houses. The young boys, this thing affects us because they do not go to school, but they used to steal, robbing, attacking people because of they don't go to school.
Of course, no one would blame them for asking for their rights in their own fatherland.
We do not have secondary school at all for now.
We are pleading with the government if he can help us to get light down here so our work could be easier for us.
We are pleading the government if he can be able to help us to bring down the securities for us in this community.
While the locals await the words of their elected public officers to materialize into action, and what can be felt, teachers in just one school in the whole of Dembrook community say they are running out of patience, which is drastically affecting the pupils.
Today we're in a global war, which is supposed to be using the whiteboard chalk, but in the school here, it's been neglected. There's nothing like that in the school here. We don't have even the chalk to even write for the children in the class. We don't have them. So it affects the learning and of the children of this community. Mostly it's the teachers that struggle out to look for what to do in order to teach the pupils. As I'm telling you now, my teacher went out, they said, to buy marker for the teaching with his own money. So which the government is supposed to supply all this thing to us. But at present, nothing is being done like that.
Do these little ones have a voice, even in their innocence and naive presentation? Playgrounds equipped with necessary tools will definitely not be too much for them in order to aid their learning process.
How do we save this country?
You moved from the APC to the PDP.
Therefore, listen, I'm still paying teachers in Ondo State. If Olabode George should be expelled from the party.
It's an existential imbecility, utter nonsense.
Join me, Dakpo Adeboye, on Politics HQ, where Nigeria's political heartbeat is felt. Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. on News Central.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Scorecard on News Central Television. And our two guests, Captain Gidado is with us, and of course, Dr. Bashir. Both of them are still with us. Captain Gidado, thank you for staying with us. Dr. Bashir, thank you equally. I'd like to come back to you first of all, Captain Gidado. Earlier, before we went off, you were talking about the attack on Dogo Nahawa in 2010 and how it has shaped the community up until now. I had to cut you short because of time and because of the conversation we're having. But I'd like to please continue with that conversation. How were you explaining? How do you say that attack and the happenings around that time has now shaped the state of security and the livelihood around that particular community leading up until now?
Okay, thank you. What gives credence to that statement is the fact that after the massacre of 2010, the people that reside within that general area, up to date, are still carrying out, are still having in mind the age-long mistrust among themselves. They are still carrying out grievances towards one another. And this general area also harbors the indigenous people and also the settlers. There is a consistent ethno-religious way of doing things, in that I see people, some part of the residents see themselves as Christians, some see themselves as Muslims, as again seeing themselves as one, as Nigerian and as people, as Nigerians and as people of Plateau State that wants to live towards fostering the corporate existence of Jos South local government. I think the local government chairman should also be involved, not setting up any committee.
Thank you so much. I apologize, but we have to cut in there. You clearly have stated that it will take a joint effort of the people, first of all, and then presenting whatever their challenges or their needs, their most pressing needs are, to the local government leaders. Thank you so much, Dr. Bashir and Captain Gidado. We'll go on a short break here. Now we'll bring you News Central's interview with the local government chairman of Jos South. Let's let you hear what the local government chairman had to say. Do stay with us.
Thank you for having me on the show. I'm also 1 year in office, so if you had the privilege of talking to any of my colleagues who was sworn in on the same day in 2024, precisely on the 10th of October 2024, so we are 1 year in office. Let me start perhaps by putting the records straight. Indeed, the local government is the government closest to the people. There's no doubt about that. And if you have followed the events and the challenges that the people at the grassroots, encounter, you would know that indeed the definition of the local government being the government closest to the people is apt. But again, as the baby of or amongst the three tiers of government, we seem to be the ones that don't enjoy, first I would say, autonomy, even though the Supreme Court had granted autonomy to local government, but that is yet to be perfected. It's another thing to make a pronouncement or make a ruling. Implementation is entirely another ball game. But we're very hopeful that with time, all of these things will be sorted out. And if you look at even from the sharing formula, in the country from FAC, you would agree with me that the government that is closest to the people is the one that gets least of the revenue allocation that comes in from the Federation's account. But is that enough for local governments not to function? The answer is no, because whatever comes to you, as little as you think that is, if you're able to manage your resources very well, you should be able to, do or carry out, interventions and projects that will have, a huge impact on the communities where, are lacking in infrastructure. So I'll take you back to what you asked earlier. The schools in Diambrook, what you now refer to as Dogo Nahawa, if you know Plateau very well, by geographical location, that location and area falls under Barking-Ladi local government. But because it is very close to us in Jos South here, that you even see the security that covers Jos South local government even, go up to that axis to give them, cover in the event of any challenge that has to do with security. Yes, 15 years ago, there was a genocide that took place in that place where over 501 people were killed. We are healing from that attack that happened. And we have also, tried in our own little way since we came on board to take a little succor to these communities. But that's not to say that we do not appreciate people who have gone there, whether personally, groups, spiritual organizations, non-governmental organizations who have visited these communities to at least restore confidence by way of assisting them with either food stuff, clothing, some assistance that has to do with the basic things of life. For us in Jos South, there's a part of that place that falls under our jurisdiction. And I can tell you that we're doing everything possible to give them, a new lease of life. The challenges are one too many, but they are not insurmountable because once the intention is there, it's possible that some of these things will come to pass. They may not come all at the same time, but the ones that you can start with, I can assure you, if you are deliberate about it, like we are, you will get to see these things happen. Now, primary schools that you mentioned that are in that community, I agree with you absolutely that constitutionally the primary schools are under the purview of the local government councils. And so if you already have 2 primary schools there, it means the presence of government at the local government level is there. There are so many things that by virtue of you trying to, solve the problems, you would wish that you have more than enough to cater for all these things at the same time. But like I told you, even if you look at the sharing formula from the federal and state gets more than the local government do get in terms of revenue allocation. There's already a primary healthcare facility there. One basic amenity that I know they lack, and we're working towards that in partnership with my colleague from Barking-Ladi, is to see how we can give them light. Because the absence of electricity in any community or society, it means that you have killed commerce. So these are some of the things that we've done in that community. And I'm taking my time to talk about the community because if you look at the conversation, of course, you took a lot of time to talk about it. Here are people that are trying to come back from such an attack. People left the community. Yes, they are gradually returning. And the best thing we can do is to continue to give them the basics that they need. And that we're much alive to doing that.
As for the people of Jos South, according to our guests, the solutions to their challenges rest on their unity. The people need to come together, decide on what works and what doesn't, and then when they are done, they present this to their leaders. And hopefully, the result will be beneficial to both the people and the local government leaders. I'm Bernard Akede, and this is Scorecard, where every promise gets graded by citizens holding the red pen. See you next week.